Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Panhandle Roundup, where we focus on news, sports, and weather that matter to you in the Nebraska Panhandle. I'm Victoria Kramer, and Tuesday, a BNSF train derailed near Sidney. Reports indicate that the derailment took place early Tuesday morning when two rail cars derailed between Dalton and Huntsman. No injuries were reported, and crews were on the scene cleaning up the incident throughout the day on Tuesday. The case of the collision is still under investigation. And in related news, a new rule will require railroad companies to maintain two-person crews in most circumstances. This coincides with the current focus on railroad safety. However, Nebraska-based Union Pacific has been pushing for one-person crews. They have proposed moving conductors to ground-based jobs and having them respond when there is a problem. Despite this, rail unions oppose one-person crews due to safety and job concerns. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the new rule is for the safety of the rail system.
This is a good day for the safety of rail workers, rail passengers, and every American who lives near a rail line all across this country, because America's rails are safer today than they were yesterday.
The mandate comes after multiple train derailments across the country over the past few years. And the Scottsbluff Police Department has been awarded a grant from the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office to participate in the You Drive, You Text, You Pay enforcement wave. According to a press release from the Scottsbluff Police Department, the goal of the grant is to reduce fatal and serious distracted driving-related injury crashes in Nebraska. Scottsbluff police officers will be working overtime this week as a part of the enforcement. And Nebraska is among 27 states calling on the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn a state ban impacting some semi-automatic rifles. The law was passed in Illinois last year, banning AR-15s and standard capacity magazines. A lower court ruled AR-15s are similar to military weapons and therefore not covered by the Second Amendment. The Attorney General says the federal court's decision lacks historical basis. And in Capital City news, the censuring process for Tri-City Senator Steve Halloran will extend into today. On Tuesday, several senators went into a closed-door session to review the investigation on whether he violated the HR policy. The vote is now scheduled for today, and if approved, only one round of voting with at least 25 senators' approval will be required for the censure. Last month, Halloran inserted the name Kavanaugh into a passage describing rape during a debate on reading material for youth. Halloran says he regrets inserting the name, but he says he doesn't regret doing the most to protect Nebraska children. Our own meteorologist Justin Kraft joins us now with a check of Panhandle weather.
Thanks, Victoria. Right now on the Panhandle, just clear skies. And with those clear skies, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, 61 in Kimball, 57 in Scottsbluff, 50 in Alliance, and 49 in Chadron. So right now with those temperatures, winds are blowing from the northwest at about 6 to about 26 miles per hour in the Panhandle down in Kimball. So with all the winds blowing from the northwest, we're still seeing this high pressure system here in the Panhandle, and we're going to keep those clear skies with those sunny conditions throughout the work week to finish out our Friday. And then into this weekend is when we'll start to see some rain that will start to move through the Panhandle. And then we'll see on Sunday just clear skies once that system starts to move out early in the evening to finish out the weekend. And then it looks like here in Scottsbluff and in the Panhandle, it looks like those temperatures are going to be at just around normal in those 50s and 60s as we finish out the work week and into the weekend.
Good afternoon, and like that song goes, welcome back. Our new web show gives me an opportunity to give a little more Western Nebraska sports action for you guys out there in the Panhandle. And both Scottsbluff and Gering soccer teams, they were in action on Tuesday, taking on Wyoming foes. And both the Scottsbluff boys and girls, they pick up wins. Bearcat boys earning a 3-1 win to move to 3-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Scottsbluff girls, they pick up a 5-3 win over Douglas. Ella Foote, folks, 4 goals in the contest. Good game from her. The Gering girls, they are also a winner as they get a hat trick from Jacelyn Brown in their 7-1 win over Newcastle. Lady Bulldogs now 3-3 on the season, while the Gering boys fall in a close one 2-1 to Newcastle. And finally, the Western Nebraska Community College baseball team, they were in action on Tuesday, taking on Garden City. Cougars falling in both games, 8-4 in Game 1, 8-0 in Game 2. WNCC now 16-19 overall on the season, but they are 7-1 in conference play. They're back in action over the weekend, taking on Lamar. That's all for sports. One more look at news. See ya.
Thank you, John. And lastly, the 138th annual Cheyenne County Fair and Rodeo in Sidney is set to feature concerts this summer. The Cheyenne County Fair Board announced Tuesday American Idol Season 19 winner Chase Beckham and Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer and songwriter David Nail will headline the new fair format July 20th through the 27th. Tickets are on sale now at CheyenneCountyFair.com. And that concludes today's Panhandle Roundup. But don't forget to join us once again tomorrow as we highlight the news, sports, and weather that matters to you in the Nebraska Panhandle.